Hi, everybody. I'm Geil Browning, CEO and founder of Emergenetics International. Welcome to Motivation Monday. Today, we're talking about my very favorite principle in my book, Work That Works. And this principle is called love. Take care of your people, and the profits will come. I'm sure most business people think having a principle called love would be very strange in a business book and probably makes people feel a little scratchy. However, at Emergenetics, it's the principle under which we work. So today I have with me Marie Unger. Marie is president of Emergenetics International and the president of STEP, our Student Teacher Emergenetics Program. It's the sister organization to Emergenetics International. She has a really big job. So I asked her to come today to talk about love in our organization.
Well, thank you, Geil, for having me here. I'm very honored to be a part of your Motivation Mondays. And honestly, I'm exceptionally honored to get to be a part of this principle around love, because I truly believe that the other principles build up to this notion of love, and love in an organization encompasses pretty much everything that we embrace here at Emergenetics International and STEP.
That's great. Can you talk about personally how you use love in the organization and maybe tie it into your profile?
Absolutely, I'd be happy to. So first, let's talk about how we use love in an organization, and specifically when you are thinking about emergenetics theory. I think it just comes naturally when it's a natural connection when you start understanding how a person prefers to think and how a person prefers to behave. You naturally are demonstrating love for that person. It's an appreciation, it's a respect for what they bring to the table. And so we apply those behaviors, those thinking attributes, and the gifts that each person brings to the table in the way that they think and behave to the principle of love and communicate that way. We try to do our work that way to honor what individuals need, and thereby showing them that we love that they're a part of our organization.
It's lovely. So my profile, as I've shown to people in the past, you can see that my preferences are in analytical, conceptual, social, and my behaviors at 95 percentile in expressiveness, assertiveness, and flexibility. My profile is quite different than Marie's. Tell us about your preferences.
Well, yes, I have the gift of being what we call a quadrimodal, which means that I have preferences in all four of the thinking attributes: analytical, structural, social, and conceptual. I do tend to lead in my analytical attribute, and yet the gift that I believe I bring to the table as a quadrimodal is I process through all of them at any given time, and I feel comfortable with a decision once all of my attributes are satisfied with that decision. So I also then, in my behavioral attributes, I'm in what we call the second third, which means in expressiveness, assertiveness, and flexibility, it truly depends on the situation how I might externally process, or how I might move at a pace, or how I will be open to options or not. So it just it kind of depends in general anytime I'm working through my profile.
So when you think about all of those preferences, how does that connect into love?
Yeah, when I think about the concept of navigating all the attributes, blue or analytical is going to want to demonstrate love by being shown value for the work that they do. Green by being dependable, or that's structural. Social, red, which is being cared for and feeling valued, and then yellow, which is embracing the ability to actually be unique and make connections to unrelated things. And so I'm able often, and we do here anyway as a regular practice, connect in with people's thinking preferences, and then of course their behavioral preferences, to respect how do they want to process, how do they want to move it, what kind of pace, and how do they want to consider options, because each of the attributes will want to approach that in, whether it's in the joy of work, whether it's in the presence and the conversations we have with one another, or whether it's in the way we demonstrate gratitude, which are all the principles I know you mentioned in the chapter. We recognize that each one of the attributes will want to approach that in different ways.
That's great. Thank you very much. But this still feels a little soft. So occasionally in business, in fact, very occasionally in business, we have to do some accountability. How does love fit into all of that?
Yeah, that's an interesting question, and I think it's something that I believe is actually at the base of accountability. Because when you are making some of the tough decisions that have to be made in businesses, when you are holding people and processes accountable to your mission, your passion, your goals, you sometimes have to have those kind of conversations, perhaps, or look at your work with a lens that could be perceived to be skeptical or tough. I believe, and I know you do as well, and we do here at Emergenetics International and STEP, that when you do that through the lens of the thinking and behavioral attributes, you actually can demonstrate love for the tough decisions and accountability because you are communicating and you are working in a way that honors all the attributes.
Thank you for your insights, Marie. I appreciate you being here today.
Thank you.
And I want to thank all of you for tuning in for our series on the 7 principles of work that works. If you want more tips for the love chapter, I invite you to look at Principle 7 in the book and look at the card deck that goes along with us. I thank you all for being with us as we have talked about how thinking and behavioral attributes can make a huge difference in your organization, making it more creative, more productive, and more resilient.